He slips past the porch, boots on cold stone, thermos in his hand, coffee steaming, dawn breath, gravel on the tires, radio off this time. Just the hum of his thoughts and a sky trying on new colors. He greets the ocean before the world wakes, names every wave like an old friend, breathing in the quiet glow, letting yesterday loosen from his hands. He greets the ocean before the world wakes, like it's teaching him to start again. Keys in the pocket, phone left in the truck. He walks where the sand still remembers the tide, pulls in the cool air, salt stings his eyes a bit, calls it the good kind, the kind that makes you feel alive. He greets the ocean before the world wakes, names every wave like an old friend, breathing in the quiet glow, letting yesterday loosen from his hands. He greets the ocean before the world wakes, like it's teaching him to start again. Footprints in a crooked line, tide erasing every doubt. He says nothing out loud, but something hears him anyway. One gull cuts across the sky, laughing at the restless land. He just smiles and stands and stands. Walks the coast, salt on his shoes, waves tug his name like they've got news. Old sweatshirt frayed, keys in his hand, kicking up shells, tracing the sand. He walks the coast, watching the light melt in the gold, every step quieter than the stories he never told. Let mountain of gold. Oh, phone in his pocket, face to the sea. One unwritten message, he lets it be. Gulls cut the wind like paper planes. He counts his breaths out, pacing the pain. Watching the light melt into gold, every step quieter than the stories he never told. Letting the sky take what his hands can't hold. He walks the coast, watching the light melt to your gold. Low, go. Feet in the foam and past and the tide. Names in the driftwood, warm from the fight. He turns his collar, doesn't turn back, just follows that line where the blue burns to black. He feels the sky breathe, salt on his lips, bare feet in wet sand, and heartbeat in foam and sink. Clouds drift slow above his head, like thoughts he never said. Sky breath, tide rhythm, rising, falling with him. Every wave a quiet hymn. Sky breath, tide rhythm, yeah. Gulls draw loose lines over the gray-blue rim. His name in the shoreline fades as the water leans in. He lets the small things wash away, keeps what the sea can't take. Sky breath, tide rhythm, rising, falling with him. Every wave a quiet hymn. Sky breath, tide with it. with him. Bare feet in the foam, hair stuck to her lips, she steals my hat. Run sideways, like the tide just changed its mind. She points at the cliffs, says they look like folded maps, sand all over her shins. I forget what I was sad about. Her laughter blends with waves and the sound of melting ice. Plastic cup in her hand, sun bruised on the waterline. Her laughter blends with waves. I'm a ripple in her light. Her laughter blends with waves, and the ice just slides. That you'll never write down. Condensation rings on the book in my lap. She taps every circle, says, look, proof we were here. Her laughter Her laughter blends with waves and the sound of melting ice. Plastic cup in her hand, sun bruised on the waterline. Her laughter blends with waves. I'm a ripple in her light. Her laughter blends with waves. Yeah. He watches the tide turn amber as the sun disappears in the sea. Salt on his lips, sand in his sleeves, thinking of things he never speaks. Amber tide, pulling the day from his eyes. Let it slide, every regret with the rise of the dark, of the deep, of the hush that he keeps. Amber tide, carry what he can't quite release. Phone in his pocket keeps buzzing. He lets it rattle, then die. Goes draw their crooked white letters across a bruised up sky. Amber tide. On the gravel, eyes on the blue above. Tracing every jet trail like a map of what he loves. Shirt tugged by the weather, hair pushed back again. Follows the lines in the sky, feeling the rhythm of the wind. Lines in the sky, they pull him forward, carry him farther than he's ever been. Heart keeping time. Dust on his back, ticket stub in his hand. Laugh from a stranger, drifting across the land. Clouds turn to lanterns, sun slips behind the rim. Coming along to the The echo of yesterday moves through the palms. Sunburned postcards crumpled in my hands. You said we'd come back when the crowds were gone. Now it's just seagulls circling the sand. Echo through the palms, calling out our names. Footprints in the foam, fading just the same. If I stand real still, I can hear us fall apart. Echo through the palms, beating in my from a drink, from a kiss, your laugh tangled up in the warm, heavy air. Hotel key rusting on a keychain twist. I keep spinning it round like you're still there. Echo through the palms, calling out our names. Footprints in the just the same. If I stand real still, I can hear us fall apart. Echo through the palms, beating in my where the shoreline curves. Maybe we were kids asking for the world. I'm talking to the wind like it's you on the line, saying leave what's gone, but don't leave the sign.
He counts in seven, watching breakers fold. Bare feet on the splintered board, shirt sleeve rolls. Salt on his knuckles, hair stuck to his neck. Sunburn tracing every quiet regret. He hears rhythm in the waves, time in every breath of salt. Hard like a tide that never stays, coming back to the same old fault. He leans into the pool, lets the shoreline take the blame. He hears rhythm in the waves, and it almost says his name. Old watch on his wrist, stopped years ago. Still it taps along the rail like it's keeping tempo. Goes right crooked lines over foam and stone. He miles the numbers so he's not alone. 1, 2 with the drag of the swell. 3, 4 with the crash in the air. 5, 6 as his lungs feeling thin. 7 when the world falls quiet again. Salt, hot like a tide that never stays, coming back to the same old fall. He leans into the pool, lets the shoreline take the blame. He hears rhythm in the waves, and it almost says his name.
He sleeps like a stone on the shoreline, face turned toward the tide. Salt on his lips, sand in his eyelids. He's somewhere far inside. Murmurs drift out in bubbles, names that the daylight lost. Hands curled tight like seashells, counting each secret cost. He dreams in coral colors, only the sea remembers. Soft little storms of orange and gold. Old shipwreck letters, he dreams in coral colors, hidden in quiet pressure. Things that the surface never will hold. He keeps them all together. He walks through the gray of the morning, coffee and concrete jokes. But under his tongue there's an undertow, pulling on every word he spoke in the glass of the office window. He swears he can see a fin, whole drowned cities in his pupils, calling him back again. He dreams in coral colors, only the sea remembers. Soft little storms of orange and gold. Old shipwreck letters, he dreams in coral colors, hidden in quiet pressure. Things that the surface never will hold. He keeps them all together. Flat and flickers when his name sounds sharp and wrong. He closes his eyes at the red light, lets the water hum his song. Street signs blur in the seagrass, billboards fade in a foam. Every breath a gentle current, every heartbeat swimming home. Curtains breathe, room gone blue and quiet. Phone face down, clock says not yet. Bare feet cold on the worn out carpet. He kills the light, lets his thoughts get violent. He falls asleep to the pulse of tides and starlight. Let in the dark, pull him under, slow and kind. Every worry gets washed from the shoreline of his mind. He falls asleep to the pulse of tides and starlight. Pipes talk in the ceiling. Street sounds fade into something healing. One deep breath, then another softer. He drifts out past every broken offer. Yeah. He falls asleep to the pulse of tides and starlights. Let in the dark, pull him under, slow and kind. Every worry gets washed from the shoreline of his mind. He falls asleep to the pulse of tides and starlights. Sand on his ankles, shirt half unbuttoned, old straw hat tilted like a secret. Tad stick cup sweating, eyes tracing circles. He taps the table like he's spelling stories under palm shade. He lets the rhythm do the talking. Hips say everything that his lips keep locking under palm shade. Heart beating louder than the drums, and every step he takes, you know just what he's wanting. Kids chase a soccer ball through drifting barbecue smoke. Some auntie laughs too loud, waves him into the joke. He shrugs, stays seated, sneakers scraping dust. One heel, then the other, starts to wake the hush. Under palm shade, he lets the rhythm do the talking. Hips say everything that his lips keep locking under palm shade. Palm shade, heartbeat louder than the drums, and every step he takes, you know just what he's wanting. Eyes on the woman, spinning near the cooler. Bright red dress, cut like trouble. He doesn't call her name, just leans into the sway. Lets the swing in his shoulders ask her to stay. Yeah. Palm shade, he lets the rhythm do the talking. Hips say everything that his lips keep locking under palm shade. Pop shade. Ocean glass in the morning sun, coffee steam curling between them, day just barely begun. He traces dust on the table, little circles, then a crooked line. She laughs into her sleeve and everything feels fine. Ocean glass in the morning, she looks up and the world turns slow. He never knew that a quiet moment could burn this bright and still feel low. Ocean glass that he's falling into, and he hopes she'll let him go. She pushes hair from her forehead, tiny tremor in her ringless hand. He wonders what she's hiding, what she thinks he understands. Outside, buses keep passing inside. Time leans on its side. She taps a crack in her mug, asks, so what's on your mind? Ocean glass in the morning, she looks up and the world turns slow. He never knew that a quiet moment could burn this bright and still feel low. He wants to say, stay, stay until the light moves on, but it catches in his throat, hangs there, then it's gone. She smiles like she heard it anyway. He sips, then bites her tongue. Two hearts pretending they're strangers while the day wakes everyone. Sand in my shoes, salt on my tongue. You drew a crooked heart and laughed when the tide ran in. Said, look, it's gone, but I watched the line still glowing in your grin. Every wave paints a story that time washes but never erases. All the names, all the glories Every wave paints a story on earth. Shells like tiny windows pressed into my palm. I hear last summer rattling in their hollow hum. Your face in the foam in the pool, and I'm standing here alone. Years rolling, years roll back, footprints fade into a blur of tracks. Still I taste that day on my lips, feel your fingers in my fingertips. If the ocean remembers like this, maybe we do too. Every wave paints a story. Every wave paints a story. He raises his glass to the sun, salt on his lips, last stripe of orange running off the edge of the water. He squints like he's reading the sky for a sign, for a joke. Sand in his shoes, phone face down in his pocket, glass to the sun, like he could hold it there a little longer, chasing one more minute of gold on her shoulder. If this is all we get, let it sink slow, sink slow, glass to the sun, till it lets go. Her laugh leans into the wind, bare feet on the cooler. She steals a sip from his hand, spills a drop on his wrist, calls it fortune. Shadows through red, kids scream at the waves. Some stranger starts humming old songs. He forgets what he was afraid of today. Glass to the sun, like he could hold it there a little longer, chasing one more minute of gold on his shoulder. If this is all we get, let it sink slow. Slow, glass to the sun. rust on the cleats, coffee gone cold in his hand, names fading off painted halls. He reads them like old friends. He drifts between boats and memories, waiting for the tide to move his feet. Every rope's a maybe, every wave's a sign. He drifts between boats and memories till the water makes up his mind. Darkboards complain under each slow, careful step, pocket full of folded notes from lips he never kept. Seagulls argue over crumbs. He smiles like he understands. All his maps are folded wrong, salt and ink on both his hands. Stay is written on the harbor, go is hiding in the foam. He's anchored in the middle, halfway out and halfway home.
In the pearl air of a quiet morning, mug on the counter, steam tracing small stories, bare feet on cool tile, clock hands barely moving, his name on the fridge note from yesterday's choosing. Pearl air in his lungs, slow light on his skin, whole world on the tip of this small beginning. He stands in the doorway, hard learning to listen. Pearl air, quiet morning, everything's different. Street hum still distant, sleeve, coffee gone cold. We tried to leave before the story got told. Your name in the phone, then the tide pulled it thin. You walked down the shoreline like you could outrun the wind. Between the waves, our voices find each other again. Over the rush and the break, I hear you calling my name. Lost in the spray, we're always drifting then. Between the waves, our voices find each other again.
You talk to the sky, I answer the ground. Two stubborn currents looping around, but every sharp word softens out at the crest. What we can't say on the surface comes back in the echo and breath. Ooh, oh yeah.
All the distance is inches in the dark. All the silence still carries every part. If we get pulled under, if we come up, change. I'll keep listening, listening for you in the spray. You in the spray. For you in the spray.
He watches the sea turn cobalt, coffee cooling in his hand, boot prints fading in the foam like they never touched the sand. Cobalt before dawn, world holding his breath. Of a wave that hasn't broken yet. Cobalt before dawn, time thin as a thread. He stands on the edge of the water, still as regret.
like a joke. He chases the shimmer anyway, sunburn on his hopes. He squints at a silver skyline that only moves when it does. Dry tongue, wild heartbeat, still trusting what it was. He runs toward a mirage, smiling as it fades in a rhythm. Every step out of time, till the dust kicks up a new vision. He runs toward a mirage, like the desert's got its own religion, smiling as it fades into rhythm, into rhythm. Sand sticks to his eyelids, shadows melt and bend. He laughs at the far-off water, then reaches out again. Every heartbeat sinks to nothing, nothing feels like proof. Ooh, but the echo in his chest keeps drumming up the truth. Not the glass in the haze, so he spins in a circle, let it all blur. If the dream keeps moving, he'll keep running after her. He walks past the last dry footprint, salt on his lips from the wind. Talks to the line where the sky thins, like he's checking in with an old friend. He whispers to the horizon, tells it what he can't tell them, lets his secrets ride the wide foam till the tide rolls back again. He whispers to the horizon, every question, every doubt stands there, steady as an anchor. And the sea always answers somehow. Names he never learned to say right, float off his breath in the dusk.